Hey everybody, how are you today? It's Miriam here at Paper Wheel Studio. I am on my front porch again today, trying to enjoy some beautiful sunny weather and be outside for a bit. Everybody wants to mow their yard today, so pardon me for all the motors running, but the motor sound should go away shortly. They're just going down the street, so let's give them a minute to get by here. And once they get by, we'll start up.
I'm just gonna start all over.
Hey everybody, it's Miriam here, Paper Wheel Studio. How is everyone today? I am obsessed with using my brads these days. And apparently I'm obsessed with hidden journaling spots because I seem to be making things that are creating a lot of writing space in journals. I like to write in journals, maybe that's why I'm doing it. But I wanted to show you what I came up with. I'm sure these have been done by somebody somewhere. If you have other videos online that you're aware of, or you have any videos that are similar to this, let me know and I can link them below. But basically what this is a pocket. You would glue it down to your journal page, glue both sides and the bottom. You don't need to worry about your little brad legs because they're going to be glued down onto the page. And then once it's on the page, you've got your pocket behind it. And then you have this can flip out and you've got all that extra journaling space in there. And then this just slips back in underneath and hides that journaling space, so it hides your writing in your journal, and all you would see is your pretty tag in your pocket. I also made one that is like a sideways tuck. I only have two brads up here, made very similar, although I just cut it differently. It will flip down, and oops, that shouldn't be stuck there. We'll get rid of that. And I had a large guest check that I just used because it's very neutral, and it came from my Porch Prince some kind of journal page pack that she had that I got, and I just printed out, which is what I'm using right now. A lot of neutral digitals. So anyway, you can just close this back up. You would glue this down like an L on this side and this side down to your journal page, and then you have places you can tuck things. Both inside where you would journal, it would hold something probably, and then you could hold something down more secure even in under the pocket. So I'm going to show you how I whip these up. Really not too difficult at all. I took 8.5 by 11, or you could use A4 paper as well. And these are digitals that I had. I just tore it down the center. When I made this one, this is my other half left over from this one, and this is my other half left over from this one. So we're going to take them both, and I'm going to show you how to fold these and create these neat looking hidden journaling secret pockets, I think is what I called them. Anyway, this part is the part that's going to go out and face out. So what I'm going to do is figure out which way I want this to be. Okay, I'm going to fold this back over like this, and I want to give myself about an inch, right around that amount, because I'm going to fold this over twice before, and I want to have room to put my brads. So let's see, if I look at my mat, that's actually like 1.5 inches, which would be great. So we'll fold that over to right about there. Now I could go on and line this right away, but for now all I'm going to do is just simply measure. I want twice this side, so I'm going to put this in. I want the other way, however, because I don't want the red line on here. I'll put this in and just simply fold it about where I'd want it to be. It's a lot easier to measure that before I get my booklet together than after. Alright, so there we go. Now I'm going to take my cutter and simply cut my paper and and I will have a piece to glue down in the center then. Again, this lined paper is from my Porch Prints. They're just extra journal pages that are very neutral and can be used in any journal when you need extra. If you do not have all the extra fun lined paper or any vintage type papers, it would be a good purchase on Etsy, because then you would have some different kinds of papers that you could use when you make your journals. Alright, so I've got that, and when I did this I noticed it was a little tall, so I'm going to take a couple lines off the bottom here while I have it in my cutter. There we go. Oh, let's try straight, Miriam. Let's try to cut it straight. Maybe I did, and it just, that line wasn't straight when it printed. Let's see. Just take a slight more off here to straighten it out. It looks very straight to me, doesn't it? Yep, there we go. Alright, looks better. Before I glue this down, let's get rid of my scraps. Don't need more extra things, and I'm going to get rid of my paper cutter too. Don't need my paper cutter in the way. Alright, so I am going to ink around my edges. I'm going to leave it folded while I do that. It gives me a little more stability for my inking. And I could put it down on my paper and use a different ink dauber and ink the edges all up if I wanted to. But for now, I'm just going to go around the edges. It's already got some aged look to it, the way the paper was made. I'm using walnut stain. Use the ink of your choice if you like to ink, and if you don't, then just skip this step. You can fast forward through it. And don't forget, YouTube has fast forward, and you can also watch things in double time. If you don't have a lot of time and you want to catch a video for inspiration or something, you can just turn it to double time and it will show it to you twice as quicker. Alright. Get both of these sides all inked up here. And now that I have my glass mat, I can lay it down, and I love that. Just so excited. I've been wanting one of these, especially with the magnetic, and I found mine on Amazon. They had it marked down, so I picked one up. Not a real big one, and it has the little extra spot on here for mixing mediums and things like that. So I'm just gonna kind of run my dauber over the whole thing a little bit, just to get some of my darker ink on the paper. It's just not so stark white here, and that's fine. I don't mind that look at all. And then I'm going to open it back up, and I'm going to glue it down half at a time, because I want the folds to match up here. So let's put glue stick on this. Hope I'm remaining in the frame. This is a new way of videotaping. I did have my surgery, and I'm still keeping my foot elevated, so this works out well. I can't do that at my regular craft desk, so I gotta do this for a period of time. Who knows, I might do it all summer. Okay, get all along my edges, and if you were smart, you'd have a baby wipe handy where I could clean and glue right off this glass mat, but I don't, so that's okay. I'll clean it off when I'm done with the project, and hopefully it will not cause me any problems. Alright, so I'm just matching that up there and putting it about where I want it, giving myself a little bit of a frame all the way around, and trying to, you know, keep it looking as even as possible here. There we go. There we go. Push this over. Then I have that. And we're going to add glue to the back side, and then I will fold this down, and we'll do the enclosure part. And if you like the little circular thumb notch, after you glue this down, that would be a good time to put your thumb notch in it before you get it in there. But if you would forget, it does open up and you can still do your thumb notch. Well, actually, if you punch through both papers, it won't matter if you do it later. So I'm not gonna worry about that right now. You guys know how to do that. Nothing new, just trying to get some of the extra glue up off there. I'm using Avery glue sticks from Amazon, Disappearing Color. They seem to be working fairly well for me. Put enough glue on it and anything will stick together. And get that pressed down good. Did not bring my, oh wow, wrinkle. Get that back up. Try to get that wrinkle out of there since I'll be writing on it. There we go. Pressing down from the inside out to the edges. That will help prevent those wrinkles like that. And apparently I missed this corner, so we'll add a little more here. All right. All we're going to do on this end is a little bit of folding. Fold that up so I can see where that will be. Make sure you don't have too much glue and you end up gluing your pocket closed, because you don't want to do that. I suppose you could if you just wanted to make it a 2 layered pockets. All right, I'm folding this over about halfway. And just folding it like this. And we'll glue it down. Once I get it folded, this just strengthens the edge that's holding the paper down where you're going to put your brads. Just gives a little more strength here. Okay. Glue that down. Then I'm going to fold it over again. And it looks like we'll have to trim it slightly, because I need a little more space for putting my brads in. Let me see if I can fold this a little less and see if I can do it without having to cut my paper. It doesn't want to fold where I'd like it to. Okay, there we go. Let's do that. Right there. Make that a straight fold. So all we need is to fold it over enough to catch the top papers. We don't want our brad to go through the top paper. So when we go to poke our holes, we want to make sure that it goes through the top, but not this piece of paper. So I'm going to open it up so that I don't accidentally stick that part down that I don't want to stick. And this is the one I'm using. I laid out some square brads to use for this. Has some little square brassy looking ones, which look kind of neat. Stuck them to my magnets here. There we go. Use it for the next project. All right, and then I'm going to just eyeball the center of this. Again, you could check it out on your mat, see exactly where your center is if you chose to, which would be about right between my E and my R. So I'm going to go right here at the E. I like using my smaller brads for this because they don't take up as much room when you're putting them down. And then I'm going to go half inch or so from the end. We'll go about right here. And just try to make them even. Again, you can measure this. I hate measuring and trying to do things that way. Do you hear the birds singing? I have a nest of, I think they're called crackle birds, I'm not sure. We have a nest of them in a birdhouse out front, and they're just about ready to fly the coop. Coop? What do you call it? Nest. Fly the nest. The mama's been feeding them. Our neighbor has cat food outside. The mama's been stealing the neighbor's cat food and giving it to the birds. Never a dull moment. Alright, now I'm just going to simply put these in here. I'll put all 3 in, and then I'm going to turn them upside down and open them up and flatten them down good. Because I hope they will all stay in when I turn it upside down. I think they will. There we go. That worked. Open these babies up. I like to push those down really hard to make sure they're good and open. Must be mow your yard day, because all my neighbors are doing it. I live in an area where a lot of my neighbors are retired, so they're always out mowing the grass on mowing day. Alright, turn it back over, and now we have that. And let's see if we need to trim off anything, or if it's just going to fit right in there as we planned. I think it's going to fit right in there. If I can get my fingers to work right today. There we go. Alright, make sure it lays flat. And at this point, you could go ahead and ink it and cut your thumb notch, which I seem to be having difficulty with today, so I'm not going to do that. But that would be your pocket, that style with your hidden journaling spot. And if you wanted to make one in this style, really simple. I'm going to make it this way, however, this time. And I'm not going to line it. I've got white paper on the inside, which is fine with me, and I may come back and line it later. So, I'm going to fold this and leave myself, again, about 1.5 inches. Alright, I've left myself 1 inch. Let's go another 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to line up my edges on my clean cut side. So I know those edges are definitely straight. Okay, so we have that. Then I'm going to come over here and do the same thing I did on the other one. I'll fold that down. About 1/2 inch. And I'm going to fold it down again. About another 1/2 inch. Okay. It looks just like the other one at this point, doesn't it? So if we want it to open in this way, this is where we would come along, and we'll put my 2 brads in, and then I'll come along with my scissors and cut it. So we'll pull this part out, so I get the brads in, and I'm only going to put 2 in, because we're going to cut the other edge off, and we will not need brads there. Punch it there, and I'm going to come over to about, I don't know, roughly 1 inch away and punch again. Might be a little bit bigger than 1 inch. Pretty close. Let's see. I have one pole punch. Where's my hole? Here. And the other one there. It is exactly 1 inch. I don't know how I did that. Oh, and look how that paper folded with that nice cute little bird right there in the pocket. We certainly don't want to cut him off anyway, do we? So we'll let him stay. Get my brads in here. See if we need to trim off the part that goes underneath any. Turn it this way. Flatten better, I think. There we go. That piece flattened down good. Get my other brad where it's hiding here. And my magnet. I got magnets stronger than I am. There we go. Alrighty, let's take the purple one and get it in here. I kind of like that black and purple together. I'm not going to embellish these pockets today. You can do that on your own and decorate them in any way that you want. I'm just trying to do some freaking easy projects right now. Okay, open this brad up. And we'll put it down. All right, so now it looks very similar to the other pocket, only with just the two brads up there. And they are a little closer together than they are in the other pocket. So I'm going to close it up, make sure it is going to close appropriately and I don't need to trim anything, and it is. Then I'm simply going to come along either with my paper cutter or my trimmer. I'm going to use my paper cutter today because I don't trust my trimming skills. And where did my little scissors go? I do have one little thing that I wanted to cut. Well, I think they ran away. That's all right. We'll use these. There we go. All right, so I'm just simply going to take the scissors and cut past our fold over opening here, just down right, barely, just cut all the way through to about right there. And then I'm going to line this up in my paper cutter and see where that tear is there. I want to go from it down to leave just, I like to leave a little bit at the bottom because I don't like the pointy look on them. So let's see how, oh, I don't want to do that way because that will cut that. There we go. Let's do it like that. There we go. Let's put this piece up if I can. Yeah, I can. Is it going to let me get in there to cut that? Probably not. Okay. Quit playing with the paper cutter and let's just do it with the scissors. Be brave, be brave. Just cutting a straight line up through here so I meet that other. And if you wanted to at some point, you could reinforce where you put your brads with the washi tape. So this actually, now that I look at this, I probably wouldn't want to put this one down like that, but it could be down that way. Since my bird is facing up, would use this one in the same manner, just opposite of this other one. So we have come up with two different ways to create extra journaling spots in your journal and have more pockets where you could put pictures, tags, and just all kinds of nice little things. And then you have these pockets with the brads where you can open them up and add little journaling about the things that you keep in your pockets. That's what I have for you today, folks. I will see you in my next video. Be sure you like and subscribe and keep sharing. If you're not subscribed and you're new here, please do so. When I hit 500, I have a planned giveaway coming up. This will be really exciting. So you stick around if you're new here, and be sure you subscribe, because that will be part of you winning the giveaway. You all have a wonderful afternoon. See you in the next video. Bye for now.